Hello there, fellow NPCs. I am Carbon Scythe, and today we're going to continue to play Her Story, which is a game about a woman who have been filing a police report about her missing husband. We have to go through the different videos, listening to her testimonies. She's been in 7 different interviews so far. Is the entire game. There's 7 different interviews, and we have to piece together what really did happen. In the last in the very last minute or so of the game, of the last episode, we find out that she actually did kill Simon together with someone, and they kept the body so that they could use it as an alibi or something like that. And it seems that she did it to protect her child, which is the reason why she was throwing up as well. Where's the bin? Let's use that keyword. Oh, more! I did not expect that. Sick. Okay, good. Pregnant. I'm also gonna pregnant child. Not pregnant child, but pregnant and child. So yeah. Eve is someone we have to look up. Mirror, seller, alibi are new keywords we have. And we also have something on bin. She's gonna throw up again, most likely. So yeah, let's go. Let's find out her story.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Okay. Yeah, right. She said it's better that we have the body so that we can dismiss it later. So yeah. They have. Wow. Damn. Did we get anything? Yeah, you used to have a child, or maybe we're expecting. Expecting. So that kind of means that for some reason Simon had to die in order to protect the child, I'm assuming. Let's search for... Well, actually, let's keep that. Let's search for Eve, the girl you wanted to drown. Quite a few of them, yeah. And we've only watched 1. So let's watch them all, because when I skipped them, it kind of felt like I was missing something.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Okay.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up afterwards. It was a love-hate relationship.
I would assume that Eve is not so happy about that. 15:52. Yeah, less than a minute later.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
So you are just straight up a bad person, it seems. Hana. You don't have that name.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Who's Hana? Talking about Eve. Fuck you if that's Morse code.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Three. Ugh, ugh. If this is Morse code,
What are you doing talking about Eve?
I have no idea how to interpret that. I've never been good with Morse code. Oh! It was recording and when you were in... Okay. So it's probably not Morse. I don't believe that. It seems kind of weird. But I'm still gonna call it Morse in code, just in case.
My mother called me Eve.
What? My mother called me Eve. What the fuck? Okay, so here is my new sheet, and somewhere around here I have friend Eve, but also split personality. Could that be a thing? And if that is said, if that's what it is, then maybe Hana is your mother. Split personality. I am grabbing at straws here. So who's Hana?
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith, I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
The wife's name is Hana. Why did you mention Hana? No, why did you mention Eve? Friend's sister.
What is doing talking about Eve?
So you didn't want to kill Simon, but you had to for some reason.
Yes.
Lie detector test.
My name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry. Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Okay, so new theory here. Hannah and Eve are sisters. Well, they were supposed to be, but one died in childbirth. But for some reason, I mean, the guy who made this game, they also made Silent Hill, a game there, so it could be a supernatural thing, but it also could be a split personality thing. One is influencing the other, but at some point Hannah tried to get rid of Eve. Mom was crazy because she called me Eve. This sister.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Attic. So we have Miracella, Alibi, Attic, Florence. Is midwife ever mentioned again? I don't think so. That seems strange. Midwife. That's what it's spelled. Oh, it's actually mentioned once more.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror.
Yeah.
She was me.
Son of a bitch. Florence kidnapped Eve and told their mom that Eve was in fact dead. Wow. And for some reason Eve and Hannah had to kill Simon. But why? They had to protect their child. Their child, not their child. Florence is mentioned a few more times.
Florence took me home with her.
Yeah.
Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Why wouldn't twins be a happy occasion? Holy shit, there was a siren going on there as well. Kidnapping.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
Letters and a diary.
I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
That didn't really say anything. It gave us two new tags though. Diary and letters. Letter.
No. It was just me and her.
And Florence.
It was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
So we're not interviewing one person, we're interviewing two people. They did mention a war. I mean, yeah, World War II, but what do we have to say on that? Only one more thing.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
I knew it.
Dad thought we had mice. But they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
I want to see if we can find anything about the code. No, that's the... what do you call it? Tapping code?
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code.
Knock code. Just the one time. So that means in order for me to realize what the knock code is, I might have to search the internet. Actually, I thought this might help me somehow. What is this game? Mirror game. One from the mom's side, classic to play strategy for lunchtime gaming. Enjoy. Fuck you if there's a code hidden here. Cracks with class. Oh, okay, so I can only use these. Yeah, it's Othello. Oh, I'm playing both parties. There we go. Now I see. Is there anything fun gonna happen? Damn, purple is crushing it, and I'm not even putting any effort into this. Player 2 wins. 41 to 23. Okay. Whatever. Not important. Let's see. What other keywords have we found? War. What is it good for? Okay, well, let's see that. Both of them. Diary. Yeah. Hana is sold. Florence is sold. Diary.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Wait, everyone's on the same page?
No, he doesn't keep a diary. Everyone's on the same page.
Oh, she's talking with Eve here. Right.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother.
So that's Eve. Oh, fuck yeah, of course.
Day, and I left. Walked out and across the street.
The only way for me to keep track of who's who is by tagging them as Eve or Hana. So white shirt is Hana. No, white shirt is Eve. Blue shirt is Hana. Not only that, but that could very well be the shirt Simon left in. Holy crap, we started out at a murder mystery, missing person even, and then we just ended up at kidnapped twins.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater.
Flower.
There was no one else around. We went far into the beach, and I held her head under, And I kept it out. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her. And watch her drown.
White.
But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
That's good.
Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Okay. So, all in our imaginations, which takes us back to split personality and not twins. But the reason I was grunting earlier was because I wanted to find out who's wearing the orange shirt. Sick pregnant child, I remember this. Content warning, she will throw up.
I left the next day, Saturday.
That's
I
hard.
slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And excuse me. Is there a bin?
I'm gonna have to check the knocking code later. The tapping code, what was it called? Did I write it down? Really?
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book. The knock code.
The knock code. Do you have anything on knock, perhaps? No. But we did check war. We checked diaries, so let's check letter. What letters? Armstrad console. Right, I never checked that. That is not where you guys go. So let's check that as well. Rad. But let's do that later. Let's go with attic. Yeah, yep. Here we go. And we have a new shirt.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy.
Purple.
Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
So once I have figured out who's who, I'm also going to have to figure out who's in the interviews at what days. That's going to be annoying.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play out there and make up our own stories.
Wait, We? Who the fuck are we?
Yes. I read a lot as had. We still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
That can only happen if your parents didn't know that Eve was over at your place.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean...
Hairs?
We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
You mentioned blonde hair. There was a blonde hair. That's something we need to check. I'm
not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there.
That's a big dollhouse.
It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale. Little furniture. The lights work. Mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it. Invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all. Passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Is it just me, or is Eve a bit more violent than Hannah? But no, that's not true, because Hannah tried to kill Eve at some point. We checked everything in attic. Let's check mirror. 3 more videos. And what do we have on mirrors
My name
previous?
is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Right. Right, that's something I need to check as well. Good thing I put it somewhere.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Now we start getting new here.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
They fought over a mirror. Well, they didn't. What did you say? Say there at the end.
He wasn't a princess would have in a story.
A princess would have in a
especially for me.
story. He made it special for me. Interesting.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
What did you say on that? Damn it.
So the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
That's interesting. Wait, does Silver Leaf...
Silver Leaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
So she's looking at her reflection and she's smiling, which means she likes her reflection. But I'm not certain if she means that this is actually Silver Leaf or not. I'm keeping that. That was interesting. Silver is something I have to check as well later on. Armstrad, right. Yes, the one thing. So we can skip that. Ernst. Yes, the one thing as well. What am I missing then? Credit card, Visa, Silver. Ah, right. Credit card, we can search for that actually.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. That's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me.
I'm getting confused here. So he made a mirror. He got mirror dust on his clothes. Mirror dust, silver dust. It's the same. It's in the same video. Yeah, let's. Oh, seller and alibi. Damn, there's so many things that happens in this. But I wanted to check drowning, death perhaps, to see if there's any more instances of them fighting. Two brand new videos.
They said it was food poisoning.
Food poisoning?
There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Okay. Parents died by food poisoning. Mushrooms. Not what I was looking for, but there's a string of deaths.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. Yeah, I came down one morning and they were dead.
But that's Eve.
They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown
You
up.
mentioned this to
Not.
Eve.
And I just slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert.
Yeah.
He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise
Wait,
them.
what?
There's no way you would have picked dead caps.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And this,
the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
wait. Okay, so Eve said they were living as a family, basically. Hannah is saying they were, well, Eve said they were separated as well, but it sounds from Hannah's perspective that they didn't live together. They lived separately. And I also believe that Hannah has been food poisoned with those death caps. So let's add that. So there's a chance that Hannah is dead. Cellar. Let's check that. Yeah. I also need to check the knock code. Why does that happen? Knock code. Tap code, sometimes called the knock code. It's a way to encode text messages on the letter-by-letter basis in a very simple way. The message is transmitted using the series of tap sounds, hence its name. The tap code has been commonly used by prisoners to communicate with each other. The method of communicating is usually by tapping, either by the metal bars, pipes, or walls inside the cell, as can be seen here. Oh, I think I recognize this, actually. So I will, let's see if I can find out the code. I heard, oh, okay, I see, it's a 5x5, so 5-1 would be V, if or an E. So I have to figure out how I have to learn this. The tab code is based on the Polybius square using a 5x5 grid of letters representing all the letters of the Latin alphabet except for K, which is represented by C. Each letter is communicated by tapping two numbers, the first designating the row of this, and the second letter after a pause designating the column. For each example, to specify the letter B, one taps once, pauses, and taps twice. Row 1, column 2. Yeah. Got it. Then we should be able to figure out what she said. This is gonna be awesome. But let's check this first. Damn it.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby.
Oh, your
There's some
sister.
boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Okay, so what we have so far is that Hannah and Eve killed Simon. They used death caps most likely. I don't know the reason, the motive yet, but I also believe that that Eve is killed, is death capping Hannah as well. Which is really unfortunate if it is true that they're the same person.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need.
Things we don't need.
Dad used to grow mushrooms there.
That's where the mushrooms came from.
The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had
Still
been there
Hannah.
through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in, as good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation.
No evidence that way.
So,
So they somehow faked his murder. They killed him with the death caps, I believe. I have no reason. I haven't. Food poisoning. If I search for food poisoning, maybe I'll find something. But I'm not going to continue much longer. I'm going to figure out that code. And that will be it for today. It was 3-1, I believe.
what are you doing talking about Eve?
Oh shit, what was that, 4? Motherfucker, you're too fast.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
3, 1. Wait. Ah, shit, fuck. 3. 0.5-1. What? 3, 1, 3, 4, 5. That one is tricky. 1. A lot of 5s. if I got that correct, it would be 3134511545. Actually, we can double check that by because they're coming in numbers in doubles.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Yeah, that's doubles. Okay, so this should be the correct code then. But what is the code? 3-1 means F. 3-4 is O. 5-1 is V. 1-5 is E. 4-5 is U. What? Is this something? Yeah. Each letter communicates with blah blah blah. For example, special once and twice. Timing of the taps isolate the letters. Communicate with these sentences and X for acknowledgements. Okay. There's no such thing. So what I got from that was foveo, but that is not a word. I have to think about that. I have to figure out why they decided to kill Simon and for what reason. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully we manage to solve this case pretty damn soon. And remember, just because you're not the main character, it doesn't mean you're not important. Goodbye, everyone.